Welcome back to chapter 18. We'll tackle questions on homeostatics, endocrine system, and also plant hormone. Now, note, if this is your first time of coming across any of our clips, or you're a returning viewer, I'll advise you click on the subscription button. Thank you. What does it actually do? These videos will be recommended to other students who are in search of it too. Thank you. So let's go straight to it. The first question: the hormone which tunes up the muscle of a person in times of danger is. The correct answer to this. Now you have. See, first, there are lots of hormones that they do different jobs, but in this case, the hormone is located is from the adrenal gland. So adrenal gland is the correct answer, option C. But I'd like to give some couple of notes for you. Jot down. Right. Hormones from the adrenal glands. Hormones from the adrenal glands, they tune up muscles in terms of danger or emergency. They tune up muscles in terms of dangers and emergency. Full stop. Comma. These hormones, they prepare the animal for flight. Flight. These hormones, they prepare the animal for flight. Flight. Put right equal to in front of it. Flee. Flee. Meaning this hormone could prepare the animal for flight. Immediately the animal come in contact with the danger, there's an hormone that will make the animal, oh, you need to run. That one is for flight. Or for fight. Fight. Or for fight. Fight. So the fight or the flight hormone is from the adrenal gland. Immediately, example, some of you might come across maybe like a snake or something, and the next thing you want to do, you want to run away. Is from the hormone is adrenaline from the adrenal gland. If you choose to stay to kill the snake, also notice there's a way your body will prep, like, let me find a way to kill this snake. That's for fight also. And these hormones and this hormone is produced in the medulla. So number one, right, hormones produced in the medulla. Number one, adrenaline is spelled adrenaline, or they call it sometime epinephrine. Let me spell it: epiphrine. Number two, non-adrenaline hormone or non-epinephrine hormone. So you have fight hormone, and you also have flight hormone, and you also have flight hormone. Next hormone that are produced, hormones produced in the adrenal cortex. Roman figure I. Mineralocorticoids. I'll spell it: mineralocorticoids. Mineralocorticoids. Example, aldosterone is spelled. Aldosterone is a type of hormone which is actually a mineralocorticoid hormone, and aldosterone is spelled ALDOSTERONE. Round figure II, right. Glucocorticoids hormone. I'll spell glucocorticoids: GLUCOCORTICOIDS. Example, cortisol, cortisol. Next, let's move to question 2. They say a gland in the human body secretes two hormones, one of which causes a disease called diabetes. Let's continue from the other end. When there is deficiency, which of these organs produce the hormones? Now let's write. Right. Pancreas is spelled Pancreas. The pancreas produces two hormone. Roman figure I. Insulin is spelled Insulin. Put hyphen at the front. It converts excess blood glucose to glycogen. Glycogen is spelled Glycogen. You can also write, also known as animal starch, or also known IE, animal starch, for storage in the liver and muscle cells. That's the first hormone. Number 2, Roman figure II, glucagon. The pancreas also produces another hormone called glucagon. Glucagon. This converts glycogen to glucose when the blood sugar levels falls below the standard. Open bracket. This is a reverse is reverse. This is a reverse of the action of insulin. That's it. Now I want you to give one line space and write keynotes on diabetes. Diabetes equals, just write diabetes then put equal to, I wouldn't want the note to be too much. Diabetes equal to persistent high level of glucose in the blood. Next line, write excess glucose, open bracket, hyperglycemia. Excess glucose, hyperglycemia, that's what they call it. Then put equal to at the front. Now it means that the renal threshold for glucose has been exceeded. Meaning excess glucose the renal system. And the kidney would thereby flush out excess glucose with urine. Next, this is called diabetes mellitus. So diabetes mellitus, now that one will be say excess glucose in the body. You get diabetes mellitus. Diabetes is spelled Diabetes. Mellitus is Mellitus. So diabetes mellitus now when you get excess glucose for the body, and the kidney go to flush everything out. You understand? Next, there's another one. Next line, right? Diabetes insipidus. Insipidus is INSIPIDUS. Doesn't involve hyperglycemia. It is due to the deficiency of the hormone ADH. We'll talk about that subsequently. But now I want you to go back to the place you've written diabetes mellitus. That one now, the main cause now insulin, deficiency in insulin. You get? So which organs produces the hormone? The pancreas will produce hormone. So we got here. Number 3, let's say number 3, the conversion of excess amino acid into urea occurs in the liver. Right. Urea is made by the liver and is filtered from the blood into the urine by the kidney, and is also stored in the urinary bladder. Urinary is URINARY for excretion via the urethra. I'll spell urethra for you. URETHRA. Urethra. Next question, question 4. Which of the following hormone is produced during flight or when agitated? You already touched this one. Adrenaline is produced. Number 4 is option B. 5. Which of the following is not a function of the liver? It's not a function of the liver. Let's say breakdown, excretion of urea from the blood. Option E. Option A, they say regulation of blood sugar, yes. Storage of iron, formation of bile, breakdown of excess amino. Number 5 is option E. Breakdown of, see this one, option D. Write down for me. Breakdown of excess amino acid by the liver is called demination. Demination is Deamination, and this leads to the formation of urelle. Next line. Functions of the liver. Number 1, metabolism of carbohydrate, protein, fat, and drugs. Metabolism. Number 2, storage of vitamins, synthesis of blood protein. Number 3, storage of blood and mineral salt, especially iron, iron. You could see it from here. Storage of iron and the liver function be that. Next, generation of heat. And lastly, detoxification. If you eat some kind of things that's supposed to cause harm to your body, the liver be the place where you say go reduce the effect of the poisoning. So detoxification is spelled Detoxification. Detoxification of poison. Number 6, which of the following organ regulates the amount of amino acid and glucose in the blood? Amino acid and also glucose in the blood. Then they ask you for the organ. The organ is the liver. Some other persons will pick pancreas. No. We say pancreas, they produce the hormone, the liver. Okay. Number 7, the mammalian endocrine system is responsible for. Number 7 is option D, chemical coordination. So the endocrine system is responsible for chemical coordination. 8. Number 8. Demination. You see, demination occurs in the liver. We touched that one already, option D. 9. The hormone which regulates the amount of glucose in the blood is insulin. Number 9 is option C. When the hormone no can function well, remember hyperglycemia. We touched the notes just now. Number 10. A severe deficiency of tyrosine results in cretinism. Should be 10 is option C. Cretinism. Right. Tyrosine, thyroxine, contribute to the growth and development in young animals. Its deficiency could cause cretinism. Full stop. Next line, right. Features of a cretin. They used to ask this one. When some dwarf is spelled DWARFED. Dwarfed. Number 2, mentally retarded, co-intolerant. They know if you tolerate co. Next, sexually undeveloped, and lastly, obese. They could also be obese. Number 11. That's deficiency of tyrosine causes cretinism, right? Now, what about, write this one down also. Under secretion of tyrosine after maturity leads to myxedema, and I'm going to spell it MYOXEDEMA. And this condition causes slow metabolic rate, sluggishness or lethargy, obesity, and retarded sexual and mental activities. Next, hypersecretion of tyrosine causes a condition called exothermic goiter. Which is, let me spell the exothermic, EXOPHTALMIC. And this is characterized by very high metabolic rates, very high heartbeat, insomnia, open bracket, inability to sleep. Next line, restlessness, next, weight loss in spite of high food intake. So they eat, you see they lose the weight. Okay, protrusion of the eyeball, and also anterior swelling of the neck, which is called goiter. Anterior swelling of the neck, which is called goiter. Lastly, right, tyrosine could be gotten from food rich in iodine. We'll move to the next question, 11. Number 10 is cretinism. Unlike auxin, gibberellins, these are plant hormone. Unlike auxin and gibberellins, does what? supposed to be for stem elongation. And also but it's actually for stem. Gibberellins is the plant hormone where they make stem grow longer. But in this case, see the question, they twist and they say, unlike auxins, gibberellins, but see, auxins, they affect fruit, the flowers of fruit, which is called abscission. So gibberellins do not affect leaf and fruit abscission. So number 11 is B. Now let's write functions of gibberellins. Number 1, they promote growth at the root and stem apices. Apices is spelled APICES. Number 2, they stimulate stem growth in dwarf plants. Just like I said, that's one of their major functions. They help if you see plants where we say the stem they grow longer, the hormone where they cause and they call gibberellins. Number 3, they activate dormant seed to germinate. After sometimes you kept that seed. If you want to, before the seed could start germinating, gibberellins come into play. Next, they also activate dormant axillary buds to grow. Just like seed would grow, axillary bud, like the one you have in your cassava stem. Now, if you want plant cassava, that thing they call eye. Now the axillary bud be that. Now, what thing will make and begin grow to na gibberellins. And lastly, they also increase the size of a fruit. They increase the size of a fruit. Those are the functions of gibberellins. Next, functions of auxins, AUXINS. 1, they stimulate growth. 2, they stimulate the development of lateral and adventitious roots. 3, they cause the increase of grit of the stem by stimulating vascular cambium. 4, they promote development of fruit. 5, they inhibit is spelled INHIBIT. They inhibit the growth of lateral buds to ensure apical dominance by inducing the formation of etin. And number 6, they inhibit the process of abscission. Abscission is ABSCISSION. Yes. So they inhibit growth at lateral bud and also they inhibit the process of abscission. Next, functions of cytokinins. There's another plant hormone called cytokinins. Cytokinins is spelled CYTOKININS. Cytokinins. Number 1, they act as growth hormone. Number 2, they stimulate lateral buds. Unlike auxins, to close bracket, to grow into branches. So the hormone where they make lateral bud grow into branches, they call them cytokinins. No forget. And lastly, they delay aging. They ask this one a lot. Which of these hormone delay aging of a plant is cytokinin? No forget. Next, functions of abscisic acid. Abscisic acid is also like an hormone for them too. Abscisic acid is spelled ABSCISSIC. Number 1, inhibit growth of terminal and lateral buds. Number 2, it promotes dormancy until favorable conditions for plant growth is reached. Number 4, it promotes aging. So the opposite of cytokinins, abscisic acid does it. Next, it promotes abscission. Abscission. Open bracket. What is abscission? The falling of leaves. If you see some plants, almost most plants, if you wake up in the morning, you go see say some leaves don't fall. Wetin dey make the leaves just fall like that, or else they go dey strong like the fresh one. Wetin go make them reach the extent wey be say they go dey fall like that? Remember, abscisic acid promotes aging, so naturally it makes this thing age faster and they fall away. So abscisic acid promotes abscission. Abscission is the falling of leaves. You go see some plants like that. There are some seasons, everything, the leaves will just be falling off. You wake up in the morning, under the tree, almost all the leaves fall. Tomorrow again, more leaves fall. Again, more leaves fall. That's called abscission, falling of leaves. Lastly, it influences the opening and the closing of the stomata. It influences the opening and the closing of the stomata. The opening and the closing of the stomata. Next, function of ethylene is an hormone of plants too. Function of ethylene. Ethylene is spelled ETHYLENE. Open bracket, ethene, ETHENE. Open, that's the function of ethylene. Number 1, it slows down development of lateral bud. Open bracket, in apical dominance, close bracket. Number 2, it hastens the opening of fruit that can be artificially induced. It hastens the ripening, not opening. It hastens it. It hastens the ripening of fruit. If you make fruit ripe faster. Next line, right. Note, auxin is the most important plant hormone. Auxin is the most important plant hormone. while the most important oxane is capital letter I, capital letter A, capital letter A, IAA. IE, we also known as indole acetic acid. Indole acetic acid. Indole is spelled INDOLE. Acetic, ACETIC acid. Next, excess oxane could be herbicidal. Excess oxane could be herbicidal. Excess oxane could be herbicidal. We talk about abscission, which is the falling off of plant from the leaves, the fruits, the branches, the flower. When you leave the cashew, you don't ripe, it fall by himself. Now abscission be that. You understand? Abscission. Let's run. Number 12. Fruit enlargement can be induced by spraying young ovary with, see am now, that's those what we just did now. Oxane, cytokinin, and gibberellins. They say fruit enlargement when you spread them with this option D. If you go back and check the functions of oxane, cytokinins, and gibberellins, they all favor this fruit enlargement. Number 13. A fundamental similarity between nervous and hormonal system is that both they involve chemical transmission. Right. Endocrine system. Right. Endocrine system involves chemical transmission, as hormones are released directly and are transferred by the blood, while nervous system involves transmission of wave of electrical impulse. Transmission of waves of electrical impulse along the nerve fiber. Nerve is spelled NERVE. Fiber is FIBRE. FIBRE. Next, I want us to write down difference between nervous system and hormonal system. The differences. Let's touch difference between nervous system and hormonal system. If you rule a table, good. On the side, one side, write nervous system. On the other side, write hormonal system. Now, on the side of the nervous system, right, messages pass as electrical wave. Messages are passed as electrical wave along the nerve fiber. On the hormonal side, right, messages are passed as chemical substances called hormone in the bloodstream. Number 2, transmission along the nerve fiber. Transmission is done along the nerve fiber of the nervous system. I've touched that one already. On the other side of the hormone, right, number 2, transmission is via the blood. Transmission is via the blood. Next, number 3, transmission is rapid. Transmission is rapid for the nervous system. For the hormonal system, transmission is slow. Transmission is slow. Transmission is slow. Number 4, for the nervous system, transmission is rapid in few seconds. So one of them, transmission is rapid in few seconds. The other one, transmission is normally takes time. Under the hormonal system, transmission takes time. Next, again, go back to the nervous system. Respiration is precise but temporal. The respiration is precise but temporal. Sorry, respond is precise but temporal. Response is precise but temporal. While under the hormonal system, response is widespread and long-lasting. It's just like growth hormone. You see am now, you don't grow that height, you don't grow. It take about 10 years for the boy to grow that tall or the girl to grow that tall. So the response is actually long-term. And lastly, the message is received by effector organs. Effector is EFFECTOR, effector organs, namely muscles and gland under the nervous system. While under the hormonal system, message is received by targeted organs. Message is received by targeted organs. So 13, we've touched 13. The fundamental similarities between them, they involve chemical transmission. Option A. 14. A dwarf plant can be stimulated to grow to a normal height by gibberellins. Don't forget, we talked about gibberellins just now. That's the work of it. Number 15. When it is cold, the blood vessels of the skin, what do they do when it is cold? Right. When it is cold, the blood vessels of the skin, they constrict to reduce the amount of blood flowing to the skin. While when it is hot, the blood vessels of the skin, they dilate to enhance the amount of blood flowing to the skin. You get? That's it. So number 14. All right. So he said when it is cold, the blood vessels good. He said they constrict to reduce the amount of blood flowing to the skin, and when the weather is hot, they will dilate to allow enough blood to flow to the skin. So 15 is option B. 16. What would happen to a man whose pancreas has been surgically removed? Do not forget the pancreas, they release two hormones. Don't forget we talked about that one precisely. The level of blood sugar would increase. 16 is option A. The level of blood sugar would increase. Now this question, and they answer this question in a very corny way. They say, what will happen to a man which pancreas has been surgically removed? You see, Amo, what will happen to him in general? But next one now, you see similar question like that. 17. In amoeba, osmoregulation is carried out by the contractile vacuole. But contractile vacuole is where osmoregulation is carried out in the amoeba. We'll stop at question 20, then we'll continue from the next clip. 18. The gland directly affecting metabolic rate, growth, and development is known as, the gland that directly affects it is known as thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. 18. The gland directly affecting metabolic rate, growth, and development is the thyroid gland. 18 is option B. 19. The substance that is responsible for apical dominance in plants is known as auxin. 19 is option C. Auxin. Go back to question 11. You will see where we give the notes about auxin and plant hormone. 20. Regulation of blood sugar level takes place in the number 20. Now, most students will go for pancreas, but the correct answer is the liver. Although the hormone that would make this thing function is released from the pancreas, but see, they say regulation of blood sugar level takes place in the option C is the correct answer. We'll stop here. From our next clip, we would continue. Hope you've been able to jot down a couple of notes. I'd like you to snap and send the notes to me for assessment. Now, if this is your first time and you would like to join our sessions, please be notified that we're running classes to prepare students for the next exam. You could DM. I would also leave a link to the WhatsApp group in the description box of this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.